Yeah, good afternoon. This is Manish Kothari from Rhino Machines, Anand, Gujarat, and we'd like to share an innovation which came out of a industry need of consuming the solid waste coming out from the industry, which is a foundry dust. And to us, plastic has been an enabler in being able to consume this dust, which is maybe between 70 to 80%, and consume around 20 to 30% plastic as a bonding agent, and we call this as a silica plastic block. So I would like to thank administrative staff, College of India and UNDP for giving us this uh, possibility to share about this mix of a society and industry pollution management solution, which we call as waste to wealth and silica plastic block. So which we have shown are two perspectives. One from the construction perspective, where you can use for construction like making bricks, paver blocks, or tiles. And the other construction where it connects to the society is, you see on the right, is a desk planter, which is again a black color block which has been painted by a few artists and used as a desk planter or as a pen stand. So just to give how can we look at waste into a different form of wealth. So if you go to the next slide, we can go through the different possibilities which we have identified with this product line. Three areas: construction, consumer goods, and the third one is something where we start engaging with the society to create this awareness through giving back the product back to them as a do-it-yourself, where you can paint and make your something which is more of your own, not necessarily buying a ready-made product, but something which you can play around with. And there's an extension of this which we are looking at, setting up some experience centers or tabletop models where we can actually demonstrate how this can happen. Can we go to the next slide where we can look at how this plant is configured? What is the production process? Just to give an idea, it's not a very complicated plant. It can be a fully automated modular plant. The key process lies in the mixing, conveying, and extrusion process, which we have developed at Rhino Machines during over a period of 2 to 3 years, as we kept searching and put in our industrial manufacturing experience and build this entire system locally. Their plastic shredder and the brick molding or the molding press can be a manual system. It can be fully automated. It can be an extrusion process. There are so many possibilities which can happen, and can look at integrating this into industrial belts, into societal ecosystems, from a small portable units to very large capacities, right from 10 kg per hour to a 500 kg per hour or 1 ton per hour plant. What is, as I was listening to the circular economy subject and listening to Crash Pond about being able to consume all kinds of plastic, yes, this project also has been able to consume all kinds of plastic mixed together, but it is also leveraging the plastic to consume another solid waste, which is something which we cannot see, but as an industry we see it's flying in the air. It's something which is creating air pollution and has been a difficult subject. The material which comes out is very easy to access, and it's like a hot clay molding. A clay mold is something which you could do with cold material, but this is in a hot temperature of maybe 200 centigrade, and you can put it in any shape and size as you want. Can we go to the next slide, please? We have tried to capture in our journey of last 2.5 years of experimenting this, what could be the impact at different business stakeholder verticals. At the input level, those who are generating waste, also there's a value where you can get value for whatever waste, maybe from a half rupee per kg to 10 rupees per kg, which can come from tourist industries, societies, and the industries which are basically where I am connected personally is in the foundry industry, which has quite a bit of dust which is generated during the process, and it can be consumed. Similarly, there will be quarries, steel plants, we have been getting dust, and this request actually came from a foundry industry to find a solution to this teething problem they had. The second stakeholder is those who are processing it, where you can generate employment and set up micro social entrepreneurs at rural level, at the ward level, city level. The waste collection agencies, as I was talking with Job, how can we get them into the commercial ecosystem? And most importantly, the municipal bodies whose mandate is solid waste management. So these three agencies can come together or as a combination into the manufacturing ecosystem and create a value addition right from 6 rupees to 30 rupees a kg from this waste. And the output beneficiaries would be lowering the cost of construction, more sustainable product. This product can be reused multiple times, so it's a recyclable product. We are also looking at furniture industry and making benches and bench tops, looking at environmental tourism, where you come and you experiment by yourself, make some art, sculpture, paintings of different kinds. Could we go to the next slide, please? We have been able to put together a small typical commercial proposition of a 100 kg per hour plant, where with a 50 lakhs capex investment in the land, in the machinery and working capital, with some contingencies, generate a revenue of maybe around 36 lakhs per annum, with a cost of around 24 lakhs. And with a 12 lakhs net saving, you are able to get your investment back in less than 3 years. Now, this value generation will also depend on how you place your product and what kind of value you are able to create. We may be able to create more value because there is an additional product line which you can generate with this by fabrication. Taking this to an ITI, for an example, we are heading an ITI in Santrapur in Gujarat, and we have our own ITI in our own factory. We are getting the students while they are learning to build the tables, and the paver tiles produced from the SB become a combination to make another product. So a cross marriage of different industries could help generate more revenue than what we have shown over here. Could we go to the next slide, please? This is from our understanding of the project, how to make this project implementation. So we as a capital goods manufacturer and being in the machinery line, we would be able to handhold, provide a complete project implementation, handholding experience, and provide training, service, process support, developing products. We can help make them dies and see that this product goes into a stabilized mode, and then they can again look at branching off and getting your accruals back and expanding. So start with a pilot plant, experiment, establish a product. So any business, 1,000 days cycle is what I would consider as something, if it is self-sustained. Initial support, if it is available from the stakeholders, from the government, for mobilizing the plastic, mobilizing the dust, that would make this project definitely viable. Can you go to the slide, please? Yes, we can do it. And as we are talking of circular economy and resource efficiency, and I was looking to hearing about the national resource efficiency policy. This is all plugging in those dots where you start from the waste generator to become the consumer of the waste, and that's how the circle keeps on rotating and build a stable entrepreneurial ecosystem across the country, across the globe. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Manish. Wonderful presentation. Very relevant, very practical, and municipalities can take these ideas immediately without any delay. These are commercially viable as well as environmentally sustainable solutions. Thank you.